123. Suicidal Humanism. Chalcedon Report, number 100, December 1973. Bertrand Russell, when asked about the future of religion, answered, "I think it depends upon whether people solve their social problems or not. I think that if there go on being wars and great oppressions and many people leading very unhappy lives, probably religion will go on. I think that if people solve their social problems, religion will die out." Bertrand Russell Speaks His Mind, New York, New York, Avon Books, 1960, page 25. This idea was not original with Russell. A similar belief was basic to Freud's psychology. Freud believed that religion would survive as long as a sense of guilt existed and was treated as a religious concern. Freud's psychology has as a central concern a desire to convert guilt into a medical problem, explaining it in terms of social evolution and thereby eliminate religion. R.D. Rushdoony, Freud, Pennsylvania, Presbyterian and Reformed Publishing Company, 1965-1972. Other social philosophers have held that the elimination of religion will come as man is led into the great society or community, into a world beyond good and evil, and a world without problems and without a law structure derived from God. As a result, the drive to establish that perfect world order has had a double impetus for humanists. For them, it means, first, the elimination of God and of religion. Where man has all that he wants, and problems of guilt and death have been overcome and peace and plenty prevail, who needs God? Hence the frantic and urgent drive to eliminate all of man's problems through the scientific socialist state, to bring in a humanistic paradise, and to forget forever the very idea of God. Hence, too, the readiness of scientists and people to delude themselves and to believe always that they are on the verge of a great breakthrough to the creation of life, its control, and its endless extension. All too many are ready to believe, as the world stumbles into hell, that paradise is just a few years or a generation away. Second, with the God of the Bible eliminated by man's victory, man can then comfortably declare himself to be the new God of creation, and the elite planners can operate freely as the gods of a new world. However, the more earnestly this hope is pursued, the more desperate man's plight becomes. Technology has supposedly brought man closer to the solution of his problem. In reality, it has only intensified and aggravated man's long-existing problem. The problem is not technological. It is not a question of a breakthrough in biology, politics, futurology, economics, or anything else. The problem is man. He is a sinner, and nothing can alter that fact save the grace of God. The humanistic myth of human perfection is thus a dangerous one. It rests on an illusion of human autonomy and ultimacy, on the belief that man is his own God, can make his own laws, and can reorder reality in terms of his imagination. It leads man to that fundamental error which, for example, is at the heart of the new economics. If men determine that certain goals are to be desired, then nothing prevents their realization except the absence of power and technology. Given enough statist power and technology, socialism, it is held, will work. Given enough money and power, the state schools believe that they can produce the ideal socialist child of the ideal socialist state. Given the power and the technology, the New World Order will begin to emerge, and then religion, the state, inequalities, sexual differences, and all like, quote, evils, end quote, will gradually wither away. The biblical answer to this is to call attention to the real problem, man himself, and man's relationship to God. The next step is to recognize that God has his determined plan for man's progress, peace and prosperity. his law. The law specifies what constitutes a good society, how to attain it, and how to suppress its enemies. The world under God's law, to use T.R. Ingram's great phrase, is a world in which there is a realistic achievement of the great goals of history. It is also a world in which the magnificent promises of Deuteronomy chapter 28 are the natural consequences of faith and obedience. The humanistic approach to life's problems is suicidal. The word of wisdom, ages ago, stated this clearly. He that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 36. In 1966, more than 100,000 college students, ostensibly the future of America, threatened suicide. More than 10,000 actually attempted it, and 1,000 or more succeeded. The future leaders of the technological humanistic paradise saw no future. They were sick at heart, involved in sexual delinquency, drugs, and the, quote, accepted forms, end quote, of student violence. Finding meaning in nothing, some finally sought escape into what was, for them, total meaninglessness, death. In 1973, even kindergarten and primary grade teachers report amazing acts of lawlessness and anarchy in their pupils. The heirs of Russell and Freud are destroying themselves or their future. Meanwhile, a growing number of students are in Christian schools, being trained for responsibility and leadership. The futurologists who try to read the 21st century in terms of their technology grind out their pipe dreams, unaware of the new power growing up all around them. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 18 tells us that where there is no vision, in terms of God's word, the people run wild and perish. But happy is he who keeps the law.